InterAct gave us in ESRC a really amazing opportunity to start getting involved in the manufacturing space for the UK. For us and for the social science community, we're so aware that, you know, without being people-centred and people-focused, there's only so much further manufacturing can go or be improved or continue developing. And so it gave us the opportunity to really plug in the social science researchers with that space in manufacturing. And so when the opportunity with MSI came up, colleagues worked really hard to make sure that we got a social science pitch in there, and then we had InterAct that came out of that. I always think of it as a bit like you could have the best vaccine in the world, but actually if you don't know how to get that into people's arms, it becomes pointless. It doesn't do anything. And so it's much the same really with digitalisation and with technology within the manufacturing creative industry space, that if you don't factor in how and why people might use technology and what their kind of big dreams and visions are of where you could be in the future, it becomes useless to the point of it's not used to the point of where people are quite frightened of it. You know, we're seeing a lot of that around self-service checkouts. People are frightened of technology in some ways. And so being able to really repackage that narrative and understand how technology can move us forward in a really exciting way. So for decarbonisation, for example, or getting more disabled people into work through cobotics, actually opens up a lot of avenues and doors for us. I think the network's been successful largely because Jan and Jill are just fabulous people. They're real pioneers for the space that they're working in. I could listen to Jan for a very long time talking because she's really great at kind of bringing out the difficult things to talk about that are merging the kind of engineering, computer science, math space with the kind of the people-centred economic side. And she brings them together in a way that you can see light bulbs go off in people's heads. And it's been so exciting seeing rooms full of people talking about, you know, why there's engineering and then there's social sciences and they're in two separate realms, but actually how can we start bringing them together? And I think because of the formation of UKRI as one organisation to de-silo a lot of the work that we're doing, InterAct is a really great example of actually how that's happening. As much as it's ESRC led and funded, it is cross-disciplinary. And Jan and Jill have been excellent in bringing together those communities and breaking down those barriers in order to move things forward in the manufacturing challenge. The lasting impact of InterAct, that's a really good question. I think definitely what it has shown, it's absolutely solidified how important it is to put people at the heart of progress, especially around digitalisation, around manufacturing, around all these new technologies and emerging challenges. It's absolutely cemented the people-centric focus in the work that we're doing and that it has to be there. So in some ways that's quite an early step, but it's a game-changing step. And now that we have absolutely solidified that, it means we can build on that to generate kind of future investments and to keep that space going and keep the other communities, the SHAPE community, more involved in the STEM challenges and move things forward in that way. So ESRC and the research that we fund is all about understanding people and how we interact with our surroundings, with our environment and the society. And without understanding that, without being able to unpack that, it makes it very hard to move things forward, especially when there's a challenge, a global or a local challenge. And so it's critical that we keep investing in the social sciences and that we keep doing social science research, because ultimately, that's what puts people at the heart of the work that we're all looking to do. I've really enjoyed it. I love hearing, especially from economists, because that's not my background at all. So it's fascinating to hear how manufacturing actually is this incredible space where people and place and history and culture, they kind of all come together. And then different challenges come out of it, where it be around EDI or inclusion, disability, environment, all these other kind of challenges. It's such a dynamic space, so it's really exciting to be able to engage with people with different passions for those areas, and then how it all coalesces around manufacturing and how we can kind of dream for the future and that future making piece. I think realising that manufacturing is a really big deal in our day-to-day lives. If you can make it and move it, it's manufactured. And actually, we're all dealing with these things every day. And it's really fun and it's really exciting. And I think I hope, at least for my kids, that they might get excited about what a future in manufacturing might look like and how fun and creative it can be.